So sorry this review is coming out a little bit late. Microphone is really loud, but today I'm here to review The God of High School episode 12, or episodes 12 and 13. Now, I should be making my full-on review of the entire season, but here's the thing. This series made me realize how much, because again, like, I'm not the best anime guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, I used to watch like some anime all the way through, then other anime I just kind of like, you know, watch random fights and didn't really care about this much about the story, right? And this series really reminds me how much pacing and like storytelling really matters, because this is one of the most like best animated anime I've ever seen, right? Like the hand-to-hand combat's amazing. The art is like consistent after every episode because it's being animated by the same dude pretty much 80% of the time. And it also showed me how much multiple animators really matter, because yeah, having the same animator consistently throughout like an entire, like, you know, season is like cool and it makes everything consistent. But you start noticing, like, you know, everything starts kind of looking the same if you don't really understand what I'm talking about. And like, I don't know, it just kind of showed me how much different animators like really show flavor to something, right? But anyway, let's kind of talk about, like, you know, the episode. So episode 12, you see the battle between EPO and Jegal, and Jegal is able to like force out, like, it's so much like, you know, rush storytelling in episode 12. It's just pretty much Jegal is like, you know, fighting EPO because he's the key, and apparently the key can unlock people's abilities. And you had the same fight with what's his name, Mujin versus Sang, which he's like summoning like a god Buddha thing, and you just have people fighting in the background because yeah. And and then like it eventually comes to a point that we have the sixth member come in, Gion, who's trying to revenge his grandson that we only spent like maybe 2 episodes with, so I don't care, but he's here to revenge him. And then we just like kind of skip his fight later on where he looks like he dies, I guess, because the man summons a meteor. Like, just so much, like, again, it all looks cool. That's the problem here, is that this season, look, I'm not going to review the entire season, okay? I just got to review these episodes. I'll be saving my full-on review later on, but it's just like, man, like, there's so much cool stuff in here, bro. Anyway, we teleport, at least Juon of the 6, he teleports them. He teleports our main stars. He teleports EPO's team. He teleports Jin's team, right? Then we see freaking Han's Chariot, but it's like, I learned through Twitter that his Chariot doesn't even look like that. His Chariot is like a dog creature, and in the anime, it's just like this little water ability. Like, look, I didn't even need to know about the webtoon to know that they're just kind of like, you know, just skipping this stuff. Again, as a person who loves Goku and loves main characters, like, the fact that like Jin like never loses outside, like, you know, that one time where he accidentally does, like, you know, he like does the little ping the pressure port thing, and it like locks his power. Other than that, Jin like never loses really. But regardless, you have like Han and like you have Han and Mira taking on Jegal, and they're about to do some cool stuff. Then we cut to it and they're defeated. And then we eventually have Jegal taking the key away from Jin from EPO, and he turns into this like godlike creature. And I'm thinking, like, well, we only have next episode, so this is not going to last too long, right? But we go to episode 13, and episode 13, the pacing actually slows the fuck down. And we actually have like actual like somewhat decent storytelling of like what the hell is going on. Like, and here's the thing, right? This season really wanted us to get to Jin turning into his true form, the Monkey King, right? It was pretty damn like quick with it, but it's just like, they really could have saved it to the next season, bro. They really could have, because here's the thing, everything looks so amazing, the animation looks so on point, and I rewatched the episode, even though I'm kind of getting a little fatigued of seeing the same animator every episode, because again, he's a great animator, but just styles and swinging kind of look the same after a point. There's only so much you can do with hand-to-hand combat when the person's using their same, like, you know, creative art style, and in this episode, it looks really good. Like, you see Jin transform into his Monkey King form. Granted, you know, before then, you know, you have you know, Jegal in this god form, like, you know, doing, you know, godlike stuff, like, you know, knocking Mira to the side. Han stands no chance. Then you have Jin, you know, doing his pressure point thing. He's able to stand a chance, and, you know, when he gets pushed to a wall, he summons the Nuobo, or pretty much the power pole in Dragon Ball, and he like summons clouds, kind of like, you know, the Nimbus cloud, stuff like that. Again, fantastic fight. Honestly, probably the best fight in the season. I still think the most creative fight is definitely Jin versus Han, but it's not as long as this one, right? But one of the things that really caused it, though, is like, you know, Han jumping in the way, kind of like, you know, a Neji move, except he doesn't die. And yeah, again, it's a fantastic fight. It's just, I just feel like the payoff is not really there. And also, I forgot in episode 12, they do the sad background thing for Jegal again. And he's doing this thing where kind of like in Jiren in Dragon Ball Super, I'm not a loser. Like I won't be a loser and I won't go down. And also, like, everyone who's like, you know, a 6 member or a counselor, or not a counselor, a commissioner, saying like, oh my gosh, like, Jin is not using a Cherry-Oak, he is the Cherry-Oak, son. And then you get this, like, you know, friendship thing where, like, you know, you got EPO, you got Jin, Han and Mira all fighting together to take out this like monstrous form. And if Jin still had, like, you know, his control of his abilities as the Monkey King, he could have beat him solo. But it's a cool scene, you know, you're seeing everyone fight together and stuff. I think it's the same as the webtoon, because I saw like a picture of the webtoon doing the exact same thing. And you know, they win the battle, and then the chick who's supposed to grant any wish except bringing people back to the dead, I guess. And she comes in, and like, I looked it up, and her whole thing is that she's like because, you know, in culture, like back in the day, like horror was like nothing that was like a big ordeal, but she's like the god's whore, like in the mythology or something like that, right? But the chick's name, let me look it up. I have it like right in my notes, so I'm not trying to mess up all these names. Is Kim. I'm just gonna call her Kim of the Six. And the one that I actually like found her is Miss Thickums, Bora. She's the one who found like, or awakened her 2 weeks early. But despite all of that, Jin is like about to wish, like, hey, I want my grandpa back. But then he sees like EPO's group, you know, one's missing a leg, one missing an arm. So they pretty much use the Deus Ex Machina of bringing their limbs back. And it kind of makes sense, because if they could bring people back to life, I think they'll just bring Han's best friend from the dead, because, like, you know, he died of cancer and stuff like that. And granted, I wish I had that wish, man. Like, I'm still dealing with like pain in my hip, like low-key arthritis. Like, if I could just get like a magical wish. But the thing about when she does a wish, she turns like into a little kid. But pretty much the season's ending with, like, you know, pretty much a confirmation, or at least they're trying to make a season 2 where, like, you know, they're setting up different stuff in the webtoon. Like, Mugen is trying to run for presidency against the Nox leader, and then like you see, like, you know, some more information about Jin Taijin, who he's still alive but barely alive, and he's got one arm, and he's talking about how, like, you know, how strong he thinks Jin is, or slash the Monkey King, because that's his true form. And the fact of the matter is that his memories are locked away. And they're saying that the best way to unlock those memories is to go to his homeland. And that's the end of God of High School. Now, here's the thing, man. Like I said before, this is kind of like One Punch Man if the pacing was like terrible after like the middle of it, because the pacing was fast, but it was bearable all the way until Jin versus Han. Then for some reason they flipped the switch so that the pacing got faster and faster. Then they did the cliche of at every episode a character had a sad backstory, and then they changed narrative points where, like, instead of Jin losing the EPO and letting Mari get a power up, or wait, am I saying her name right? Mari? I think am I saying it right? Let me look it up right quick. My bad, guys. Mira, my bad. Letting Mira get a power up. Instead, they just have Jin win and like use a little bit of his Monkey King powers. Like, again, you could have saved that for this fight. You know what I mean? You're already hinting at it enough. You didn't need that for that. Again, it was cool, but look, here's the biggest problem about this season, man. It's all about like coolness. It's all flair with no substance, and that's the biggest thing. Because, bro, the fight with Jin versus Jegal is amazing, but it's like it's hardly any build up, and like it's tough, man, because I don't like being a negative person, but I would say episode 12 is a strong 6 out of 10 for me. Episode 13 is a 7 to 8 because the pacing is actually somewhat decent, and it doesn't feel like I don't know what the hell is going on, because the worst one for sure was episode like 10 or something, when things are just happening. One of 6 members become like a giant head. Again, I know the webtoon's pacing is way more slower. I know like they have a lot more explanations. It's just, I'm only talking about the anime adaptation. Again, like I like these characters, but you know, the anime really fell into this, like every time we go into an episode and we notice this character is going to be important, we're just going to get a random sad background story. So again, let me know how you guys feel about these 2 episodes, how you feel about it. The animation's fantastic, like I've said before, but yeah, man, it's really hard to really be hyped about it, because like, you know, it's just they've done so much to rush this stuff that it's kind of hard to like really, you know, feel the impact really, if that makes any sense. But yeah, again, I'm glad that, you know, I got to learn about the God of High School. I'll try to read the webtoon when I'm not swamped and stuff. For the guys who've been missing the Top Strongest videos, those are gonna be coming out soon. Also, almost forgot, like, tell me what you want to nickname you guys. Okay, there's 3 big names so far. There's TJ Army, the Underrated Nation, in X Fighters. I've been thinking about X Fighters because it's a play on Z Fighters, and I got XX SonTj XX all over my name. So you want to be part of the X Fighters, or you want to be part of Underrated Nation. And funny enough, even if I was like, I don't know, like a 1 million subscribed channel, I'll still call you like Underrated Nation. You know what I mean? We're always underrated. So I'm leaning towards more towards Underrated Nation. But let me know in the comment section down below. Actually, let me try this. If you want to be part of Underrated Nation, click the subscribe button, click the notification button. Make sure you hit like, and you know, hey, subscribe to your boy and be part of Underrated Nation. Anyway, SonTj, peace, love you all.